Good morning, all. Good morning, dear participants and the IT community fraternity. So, myself, Vishnu Vinay, the Secretariat Head for the GTech Kerala. So, welcome you all for today's session on emerging opportunities in Japan in post-COVID era. So, the agenda for the flow of the session would be we are having a focus group called business focus group. So, the convener for that is Mr. Jijo John. So Mr. Jijo will be giving a small intro about the BFG of GTech and then over to the presentation from Kaushal from Adamai, Japan. So we'll wait for just a couple of minutes. Around 11:34 we'll start off with the intro and over to the presentation. Okay.
Good morning, all. On behalf of the Business Focus Group of GTech, we'd like to welcome all of you to this session. Business Focus Group is a group helping out the members of GTech to get more business, to attend external events, to partner with other organizations around the world. We also we are starting to conduct a lot of sessions actually, which helps out in developing or getting more business for you. And so business focus group in the prior business groups, one of them was headed by Gautam. They had already done a lot of interactions with Japan and Adamai. In fact, folks from Adamai had visited Technopark and various other companies multiple times. And it didn't take, we could not take it to a level of an agreement till then. But last month, on 18th of December, we were able to sign an agreement with Adamai, which is going to help out in the collaboration and also help out all GTech companies to spread our wings to, for more businesses in Japan. And so we are planning, more visits to Japan. And I think Kaushal, who is going to take the session, is going to talk more about what we could do going forward. With Olympics around the corner, and with many vaccines promised, and we are all waiting for hope this year, and hoping that we can venture out and maybe visit Japan later this year, and also be in sessions in Japan. As many of you know, Japan IT Week is coming, and also Olympics after that. So, which are all business prospects for all of us. I think many of us are doing a lot of business in the United States and in Europe, but because of language barrier or other reasons, many people have not ventured that much into Japan. And this is where I think our agreement or partnership with Adamai is going to help, where they're going to help us take us to, or take us to Japan, and also to engage with the companies there. And they would help us to mediate in many of our interactions with the Japanese companies. Hope is the word of the year, and so we are hoping for more things to come out of this agreement and to take us to the next level with our Japanese interactions and collaborations. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to a great session from Kaushal. And Kaushal, thanks a lot for taking this session for us, and looking forward to a great relationship with your company. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's actually evening here in Japan. So my name is Kaushal, CEO of Adam Innovations Company Limited. I'm very delighted to be here today to talk with you and share some information about, the emerging opportunities in Japan. As you know, as Mr. Jijo mentioned, that Adamai and GTech recently signed MOU partnership. The whole objective of this partnership is to promote GTech companies and then help them to venture into Japanese market. So just to give a little bit of idea about me and our company. So I actually have 15 years experience living and working in Japan. So I will share with some of my personal experience during this speech as well. So basically, Adam Innovation we started in 2012, mainly to support Japanese companies' global collaborations, global expansion. And I have experience of working with the large size companies to small to medium size companies, and also in many business verticals, finance, manufacturing, and IT, and many areas. So today my session is going to be more about sharing my experience, and also giving more recent inputs about what is going on in Japan, and then why you need to look at Japanese market, and why you need to think about Japan as a kind of a the market that you need to venture into. So if you look at any product, any industry, any market is having a kind of a life cycle, and every market is not been there forever. So I know most of you are doing well in the US, Europe, or UAE, but very few of them have even thought about going into Japan. There are some reasons, in fact, because the Japan is a very unique country, and the culture. There are a lot of cultural barriers apart from the language, and Japanese don't speak English, and you need to that barrier is there. But if you look at the end, Japan being the third largest economy in the world, and it has a very huge IT market size, and of course it's a challenge for you to go into Japan and do business with Japanese companies, but also there's opportunity on the other hand, because there are very few foreign companies are there in Japan. So there are pluses and minuses. Anything, if you look at, there are challenges as well as opportunities. So I think what we need to do is we need to think about how we should overcome that, and then how we should move forward. So I think the partnership that we build with GTech, and so next year we have lots of plans and a lot of things we plan to do together. So we really appreciate your time today, despite of all your, being the first week of, the new year, and putting your time for this session. So I really appreciate. So let me first, explain. Let me first, share my screen, and then try to, talk about the subject. Okay. So as I told you, the topic today is about emerging opportunities. But before talking about emerging opportunities, I think it's also important for you to understand about about Japan, and why Japan, and what kind of why this country is unique compared to other countries. So in fact, I came to Japan in 2005. The main reason for me to come to Japan, I was in the US and working as a consultant and my main area was focused on the mobile internet, and we called that time is the enterprise mobility. So with the mobile devices and wireless technologies, how it can transform the businesses. So at that time, in fact, Japan in 2004, 2005, Japan was the most advanced. Japan had the most advanced mobile, internet platform in the world. And actually, I came to Japan to study that and then to learn about it. So so I never thought that I would stay such a long time in Japan, but now I've been here for almost 15 years. And I love this country. I love the culture. And I see, as a foreigner, I see a lot of opportunities in this country. So this is what, in fact, I want to share with you. So first of all, let me talk to you about the Japan as a whole. First of all, let me share my the flow of the session today. So first, I will talk a little bit about Japan and share some of the information about Japan, and then second, I would like to talk about some key challenges and opportunities, And the thirdly, I would like to share some the points about the way forward. And finally, I want to open the floor for you for questions. So first, let's look at Japan. So I want to talk about more about the Japan, the economical side of Japan. So Japan is in terms of the population, Japan has about 126 million population. Still Japan is the third largest economy in the world. It's a 5 trillion economy, second to US and China. Japan, in fact, as you know, Japan is manufacturing based, economy and also export driven economy. So most of the revenue actually comes through exports. And you may know about Japan brands like, if you talk about like, Toyota, Nissan, the automotives, and also electronic companies, chemical companies. So there are a lot of, brands, well-known brands, about Japan. But if you look at Japanese economy, mostly the most contribution to Japanese economy actually comes from the small to medium-sized companies. Japan has about 3.7 million SMEs, and that basically drives the economy in Japan. And the point here is, those Japanese, small to medium-sized companies are not that much, globalized. They're very domestic oriented, and then this is a kind of a challenge for Japan to, expand their, the growth in the global marketplace. This is the current situation about, the GDP growth rate in last couple of years. As you can see that in 2020, economic growth actually, went down and it by 5.8%. And the main reason why it happened, as you know, because COVID, caused a lot of issues, and people, personal, private consumption has reduced a lot because Japanese love to go out and eat out and, spend money on their, the food and other things, entertainment and things. But because of the COVID, that they could not do that. But Japan did not have any sort of, lockdowns and things like that. Only some emergency, situations were there. But Japanese were quite cautious about, going out and spending time with the normal way that they have used to. So because of that, actually Japan economy went down by 5.8%, but next year they are actually expecting kind of a big growth, about 3.6% growth. So that's a huge jump from minus 5.8 to the plus 3.6 is a big jump that they are planning to do. So in addition to that, if you look at as I told you, like, Japan's SME is the biggest, in terms of the economic contribution, SMEs, contribute a lot than the bigger companies. And if you look at the world situation, Japan, small to medium-sized companies have, we see that they are more resilient to the COVID compared to other parts of the world. So Japan, only about 10% companies, 9.5% around that percent companies actually, closed or the file for bankruptcies compared to, other countries. Like if you look at India's situation is actually 40 to 50%. So that means that, SMEs still, Japanese SMEs are still resilient, and they want to try and they want to, look at some ways to, transform the business, and then they feel that, they can, survive in this COVID, and then they actually, that gives them some, lot of opportunities for them also to rethink. Because as you know that usually Japanese companies are a little bit, slow to adapt. They're very careful. They're very risk averse. But because of the COVID, actually, they need to they're compelled to transform their economy into more digital, remote working, and things like that. So this is the kind of the general situation that happened after COVID. And another important point I would like to mention is that first time in the history, Japanese government, Japanese new prime minister appointed a digital minister, and also there's a new digital ministry or digital agency actually officially declared, and that is going to start from this year around September. And the whole focus of the new digital minister is to actually promote digital transformation in Japanese small to medium sized companies. So I think this move, I think Japan, the digital acceleration will actually improve a lot, I think. So this is also a new trend that I would like to tell you about it. And in addition to that, so let me this is the general trend in Japan, and then let me move into the current challenges. What kind of current challenges are there in Japan, and then why we think that we have a lot of opportunities in Japan from now on. First thing is, as you know, Japanese companies focus on, the compared to other parts of the world, what I see, what I think, and what through our experience we know that Japanese companies are very much focused on what they do. So that actually came through the Japanese management principle. So one of that is we call Kaizen. So Kaizen means the continuous improvement. So they want to focus on something, like if they make something, like for example, if they make a pen, or say automotive part, or something even like very small. What they do is they want to focus on that, and then they want to keep improving it, make the product quality the well. So of course this is good. I don't say it's bad, but the problem is now when you try to focus on something and you actually prevent to see other changes. Now, since Japanese, the companies or Japanese people focus on this Kaizen, actually they miss lots of global trends, the changes. So because of that, as you can see in the recent past, Japanese, especially electronic, companies, the world share has gone down, and then Chinese and the US, the companies actually came up. So main reason is actually because Japanese companies focus on the quality, focus on, we call Monozukuri. Because of that, they have not, they miss a lot of global, trends. Because today we are in the digital revolutions, and what we see that many industries are actually changing, and the competition is actually also not coming from the same industry. Actually, it is coming from a totally different industry or different ways. So understanding that was kind of a big challenge for Japanese companies. So that is what I see one big challenge many Japanese companies are facing at the moment to be more competitive and to move to the next step. So I don't know whether you heard a word called Monozukuri. Mono means things. Sukuri means way of making it. So Monozukuri is actually it's a kind of a concept, or it's a kind of art of Japanese way of doing things. Now, what happens is, as you know, that Japan being very popular for electronics, like brands like Sony, Panasonic, those kind of brands were very popular. It was kind of household, name about 10 to 15 or 20 years back. And main reason is actually those products were so the high in quality, and then they focus more using their Kaizen mindset, and they want to make it perfect. But what happens is we see that the world is actually moving from quality driven to more convergence. The more than the I mean, quality is important, of course, but we see that now if you try to focus on one thing and try to make the quality more and more better, is we call the sustaining innovation. But what we see is, like, there's a new wave is coming called disruptive innovation. That means the disruptive innovation basically breaking the existing industry or the existing market. And so in disruptive innovation, what happens is people, I mean, initially the quality is not the most important factor. So quality comes next. But the most important thing is how you break the market and create a new trend. And this shift is something that the Japanese have missed, I think. So therefore, the what we think is why it happened, because Japanese companies are very much focused on what they do. So because of that, they have missed some of the opportunities. But there are some companies actually came up with that. One example is actually the conventional camera reels. If you know a company called Kodak in the US, and that company was the biggest at that time, and that company actually gone out of the business. But there's another competitive company in Japan called Fuji. Fuji made into a kind of success because they convert that business into a new areas. So today Fuji is not making, not in the cameras or that industry. Instead, they are actually making something else, especially like they are into the healthcare and more into like chemical base, the new development. So because of that, they actually survived. But many companies, in this transition, many companies actually did not succeed. So let me explain about that a little bit more. So as I told you, I came to Japan in 2005. So my main focus was to study about the mobile industry in Japan. Why? Because at that time Japan was having very advanced mobile technology, and Japan had the of course Nokia was the leading company manufacturing mobile devices, but in terms of the numbers, Japan had the highest or the largest number of mobile device manufacturers in the world in 2005. And also Japan had the mobile first, the mobile internet platform called Docomo iMode, and this platform is the first, initial starting of using mobile internet. And that time, now today, if you look at mobile revenue, like when you pay bill, so we basically break that into two, like voice and the data. So in 2005, around 2004, 2005, so most of the revenue that the mobile carriers got through voice instead of data. But Japan and Korea was the countries, two countries, they paid the highest data charges. So mainly because Japan this mobile internet platform. But what happens is, now if you look at in this picture, this is actually 2006 advertisement, and you see that different kinds of mobile phones, and here you different designs, different colors, different sizes. And so as I told you, the same example, now Japanese device manufacturers focus more on the hardware and try to make it more better and more cuter and with their designs and colors. But what happens is, as you know, in 2007, the Apple, first time in the history, Apple introduced iPhone. And Apple was actually totally not in the mobile industry at all. They were actually, in the totally different industry. But they, came into this industry and then introduced Apple iPhone. With that, in 2007, within 1 year, entire Japanese mobile industry was totally devastated. So, and because, since this was my research area, I actually deeply concerned and research more about that. And then we saw that, the world is moving into hardware differentiation to software differentiation. So Apple realized it. In fact, Apple, Steve Jobs himself, he said he actually copied most of the technology from Japan. He visited Japan 18 times before introducing iPhone. And but he, innovate, or he developed totally new business model. And he thought that future of, a mobile is not on goes in the hardware, but in software. Now today we all use the same, iPhone, but the applications on the iPhone inside is different. So this is the shift that we see, that moving from hardware to software. So this is the trend that Japanese companies are very, very, they can't, it's very difficult for them to understand, and it's very difficult for also for them to, adapt. So this one I see as an opportunity for, the IT companies, especially, GTech companies, to focus on. This is just one example I'm telling you. Now let me talk about the now this is the past, 2007. But let me talk about, the what is going on at the moment in Japan. That is, I want to talk about the automotive industry. Why? Because Japan, automotive industry is Japan's largest industry, and companies like Toyota, Nissan, Honda, all these companies are in this, industry. Now, what happens is, when you look at automotive, now you see that the currently automotive, if you look at the cost of a car production, so 30%, 70% of the cost actually goes to the hardware of the car. So only 30% is actually coming from the software side. But what happens is, now automotive also transforming from hardware to software, and as you know that another 1 or 2 years time, the autonomous cars are going to start. So the Apple already mentioned that they are going to come up with their car, the driverless car in another 2 years time. Tesla has a lot of plans, and many other companies actually are in this race. And if you look at that, all these companies were not in the the automotive industry in the past. Very similar to the case of mobile phones, because Apple was not in the mobile phone, but they actually came to the mobile industry and totally changed the disrupt the market. So likewise, we see that now with the driverless cars or autonomous cars, and we see that there's a major shift happen, and software cost of the production is actually going to increase from 30% to 60%, more than double. Now the challenge here is, now Japanese automotive companies are all hardware companies like Toyota, Nissan, all this. So, and they're not that strong to face with this change. So because their mindset is Monozukuri, they want to make the car better, look nice, all this. But inside, what is going on, what we call software part, they're actually weaker. So therefore, what the question remains here is, compared to the giant, software companies like Google, Apple, how Toyota, Nissan, Honda can, compete. In fact, Toyota already, are making a lot of responses. In fact, they already announced that they're changing their business model, and they actually stop making cars in the future, or at least reducing the car manufacturing, in the future, and they want to move into mobility platform. But the thing is, a company like Toyota, being in the industry for over 100 years, and changing from hardware to software is actually going to be a lot of big challenge. So therefore, I mean, the Japan now actually need collaboration. Japan need a lot of good, software companies. So this is the opportunity that I see. for companies like GTech to look into. Of course, this will not happen overnight. It may take time, but this is a kind of very good opportunity for software companies to look at Japan as an emerging market. So and this is also recent news that came actually. Tesla market cap actually go increase by 544 billion. Compared to Toyota's market cap is 228. I mean, even now, Toyota's sales much higher than Tesla, of course. But like if you look at the market cap, Tesla look promising in the future. So these are the kind of trends that are happening, and Japanese companies are aware about that, and Japanese companies actually trying their hard level best to change into the changing market, the needs, but it is not easy for them to do by themselves. So so this is the kind of basic the idea about the Japanese market, and how the Japanese companies look at and how the companies are concerned about these changes. So in fact because I mean as a company Adami 4 years back, actually close to 5 years, we saw this change. Because why we saw that, because as a company focusing on the strategy consulting and working with many different kinds of companies, so we particularly saw that the world is changing, and then Japanese companies need to go out and collaborate with foreign companies. So that is the only way that they can survive in the future. So so we saw that this one actually long back. And that is the reason why we actually started our global IT park in 2016. So now I want to talk about little bit about global IT park, and then how we have started and what we are doing, and then how we can collaborate. Okay, so let me talk about that. So global IT park, in fact, we started in 2016 as a public-private partnership project. Because we see that this digital wave is coming. Digital technologies are dominating the world. So therefore, Japanese companies are very much hardware driven, and Japanese companies, in fact, you may be surprised to hear most of the Japanese companies, they 100% outsource software. And they don't even have IT manager or digital manager. So they don't understand about software, in fact, but they are very strong in hardware. So, but now with this shift, so it is very difficult for them to cope up and change. So because of that, we thought like, it's very important for us to, support Japanese companies and work with them, build the collaboration. So that's the reason why we started Global IT Park in 2016. As a kind of a consortium with prefectural government. Prefecture means like state government, and also city council, and also the university in Minami. We started Global IT Park. So and now also there's another connection with Kerala, and Global IT Park, because in fact, when I proposed this model, the Global IT Park model to Minami Onoma City and the Niigata Prefecture, actually I used Kerala IT, the Kerala government, IT mission, as a kind of the one case study. Because Niigata and Kerala is quite similar in terms of the industries. Like Kerala also very much agricultural based economy, and then young people were moving into for example big cities like Bangalore, or they move out to US or the Middle East or whatever the overseas, looking at better opportunities. So, and then the Kerala the government thought, they want to stop the brain drain, and then they actually 30 years back they started, investing on IT infrastructure and supporting startups. And today, in fact, Kerala transformed the economy from agriculture into more IT based. So actually, I used this case study. I mean, Niigata also very similar. Niigata is also agricultural economy, and Niigata is actually always known for agriculture because Niigata produced the Japan's best rice and best many other vegetables and fruits and things like that. Also, Japanese best sake. But again, the problem is the young people, because they also can't find a good job, so they actually move to Tokyo or to bigger cities. And we propose the same model as a case study, what the Kerala has done 30 years back, and then we propose this model to Niigata prefecture. And then as a result, we have, started Global IT Park. In fact, before opening Global IT Park, I invited the principal secretary at that time, Mr. P.H. Kurian, to, Minami Onuma, Niigata, and he actually met governor and the mayor, and then shared the experience. And actually, as a result, we signed the MOU in 2016, February, with the prefectural government, and then started Global IT Park. So, you might be wonder, in fact, Global IT Park it was the first Global IT Park in Japan, because of course Japan has a lot of IT parks, but 95 to 98% or 99%, I would say, companies are Japanese only. So, therefore, our focus was actually, we want to invite foreign IT companies, because Japanese companies working, it doesn't make much sense because their mindset, their way of thinking is very similar. So Japanese companies need to work with foreign companies. Why? Because because way of thinking. Because Japanese, even IT companies, they are very much Monozukuri mindset. They want to focus on one and they want to do it in a perfect way. But instead, foreign companies, for example, like Kerala, I would say, because Kerala IT companies from zero, from the start, they are looking global customers and then make the software development, because domestic market is not that big. So for them to be a global player, or they want to expand their business, so they need to look at global trends or global business opportunities. So this is the synergy that we see. Even Sri Lanka is also the same, because Sri Lanka being a small country and domestic market is small, but Sri Lanka also has good IT companies, but for them to get business, they want to look at the global market. So in 2016, we started Global IT Park, actually inviting IT companies from India and Sri Lanka. And today, actually, we are happy to say that in addition to India, Sri Lanka, we also got a few companies from US and Europe. And we want to actually, make this happen, because we want to make this place, Global IT Park, is a kind of a Japan Silicon Valley. Because today, big Japanese companies, what they do is, if they want to get new technology, they actually go to Silicon Valley. And what they do is they actually acquire companies, tech companies or startups, and then they try to bring the technology back to Japan. But what we say is actually, you don't need to go to Silicon Valley, and you can actually come to Minami Onuma. It's just 90 minutes from Tokyo, and then work with global, tech companies in Minami Onuma, and then try to, build the collaboration. So this is the concept of Global IT Park. So what we basically promote, we actually came up with 4 objectives in Global IT Park. Number 1 is actually we want to develop next generation technologies, not only focusing on the domestic market, but actually focusing on the global market. And also we see that the importance of the Japanese and foreign companies collaborations. So therefore we actually create the platform for Japanese companies and foreign companies work together. So this is the second objective. And also, like, we want to foster the global communication, because Japanese companies always, prefer Japanese way of working and Japanese language and things like that. But slowly we are trying to change their mindset, and slowly we actually help them to, get adapt to the global communications, and also join research. And we have actually collaborations with a couple of universities I will share with you later on. So we actually work with those universities as well, because, in order for us to, build this, joint collaboration, we actually need some good research and academic support from the universities. And the final thing is, in fact, this is actually that I think is very much important to Japan from now on, is actually startups. Because Japan, if you look at, the global unicorns, US has about 200, 200 plus, unicorns. China has 100 plus unicorns. I think India has about close to about 30 unicorns. But being the third largest economy in the world, Japan has still about 1 to 2 unicorn companies. So this is alarming situation in Japan. Why? Because another 20, 30 years, if you look at, these big companies are actually not going to, grow. So they are actually in the declining phase. So there should be some, good startups like Uber, Airbnb, kind of, the startups. It's required in Japan to, take off. To replace with big companies. But Japanese startups are actually very, is low. The main reason why Japanese startups are not doing well, because Japan does not have good Japanese startup ecosystem. So this is another objective that Global IT Park is focusing on. I think because we actually, would like to work with, GTech companies and Kerala IT parks to, support these, startup companies to, come here and, work with Japanese startups and also Japanese big companies. So this is kind of, thing that we would like to do next year. We build the base. I think the COVID helped us to focus on this one, because yes, last month also I conducted one session for Tokyo big companies, and I emphasize on the big companies investing on the startups. So these discussions are actually at the moment going on. Okay, so let me talk quickly about what we do as a Global IT Park at the moment. So number one is actually we support Japanese companies' digital transformation. As I told you, Japan has so many small to medium-sized companies, over 3 million companies, but they're very much domestic oriented. So we actually help them, and then we try to understand their problems, and we try to support them to transform their business into digital. So this is the first focus we have. And also, we work very closely with the Niigata Prefectural Government as our partner. And 2018, in fact, we started this initiative. It's actually, we tie up with Indian High Commission, and then we ran a big, Japan-India, business promotion, or the investor promotion event in Niigata city. And here you see the former High Commissioner, and also former Niigata governor is actually exchanging their tokens, and with that actually we actually put the first footprint in Niigata to promote Japanese companies to go into India and invest in India. So but unfortunately last year and still because of the corona, we could not do much. But I think with this new collaboration, we can promote Kerala more in Niigata, I think. And the next one is also because what we think is the DX is according to if you look at it, digital transformation is actually not about the technology. It's not about you introduce IoT or AI or some software, but it's actually how you solve problems and how you try to improve your customer experience. So in order to do that, it's very important for the people working in those companies to understand it, because then only they can understand their customers. So therefore we started actually, a couple of training programs, and we partnered with the biggest IT association in Japan. It's called JISA, Japan Information Technology Service Association. Over 600 IT companies are members of that. So, and then we started last year 2009, the year before 2019, we started the DX training program for the JISA IT engineers, because what we think is future IT engineers job is not about coding, because coding can be done using the AI and other technologies, but the future engineers should be of problem solvers. They should think more holistically, and they need to think more about their role is more business creators than software developers. And we actually started this initiative in 2019, and actually we conducted a 6 months program. So 7 companies sign up, and about 20 engineers came to Global IT Park, and then they actually trained with our IT engineers, and then we conduct many interesting programs. So last year we could not conduct because of the COVID situation. But I think from now on, we are planning to do this DX training for IT companies as well as non-IT companies. And also we have good collaborations with universities. These are some of the universities in Niigata. So International University is anyway our partner, the member the organization. In addition to that, there's another big technological university is called Nagaoka University of Technology. It's a government based university very close to Global IT Park. It's about 30 to 45 minutes drive. And I started teaching their entrepreneurship 3 years back. In fact, now we plan to build some industry academia collaboration to because they have done a lot of good research, and we want to bring those the research and good ideas, and then we want to develop some prototypes or even products, and then working with Niigata companies. And another university is this is a very new university, recently formed last year. It's called Kaishi Professional University, and this university in fact started as a new initiative of the Ministry of Education in Japan, because Japanese Ministry of Education also thought that future universities' role should be changed. They should not just offer the more than the academic research and things like that. They need to have good collaboration, and they need to solve problems of the industry. So that's the new that's why the name of the university called professional. So professional university and normal university, the difference is actually professional university students actually spend more time with the industry, and from this year those university students actually come to IT Park and actually do internship with us for a few months time. So I think you might be able to meet them and work with them in the future as well. So this is the industry collaboration. And finally, I want to mention about how much minutes I have. 44 minutes over. 44. Okay. So the final thing I want to talk about is the GTech collaboration, and I'm very happy about the signing this MOU. I think GTech has very good companies because the one point I want to mention is, in fact, I mentioned this one couple of times with the GTech members as well. In Japan, Japan actually Indian IT brand is actually now slowly building up. And Japanese companies know, or Japanese know, that Indians are good at IT. But the problem is still they don't know about Kerala. The moment we talk about the Indian IT, they always talk about Bangalore. So, but what I knew is actually even Bangalore, a lot of IT engineers are actually coming from Kerala, and Kerala itself has good IT companies. So I think it's very very important for us to build this Kerala IT brand in Japan, because at the moment the IT brand is the Japanese companies only know about Bangalore IT. So how we can together build the Kerala brand in Japan, and this way we can actually invite a lot of Japanese companies to come to Kerala and see how the Kerala IT companies are working, and their success stories, and so open them to have some collaboration with Kerala company. So this is what I think we should do. So for that we actually came up with a couple of ideas. Number one is actually the promote Kerala brand in Japan. So since Global IT Park, Adam Innovations and GTech already signed the partnership agreement, I think we are going to next year this year we are going to do a couple of events to promote the Kerala brand, and also we are actually thinking about it's important for Kerala companies to come to Japan, because it's very important for you to come and see the country and see how the business is happening here, see experience the culture, and experience the because Japan is well advanced in technology, but there are some weak areas. Certain areas they're very strong. For example, bullet trains. For example, the very sophisticated cars and things like that. Japan is quite or electronics, but certain areas Japan is actually quite behind, I would say, to India. So once you come here, you can see that, you can experience that, and then as business the people, you can see the opportunities more than what we say. So therefore we want you to come, we want you to spend more time with the Japanese Japan, and communicating or discuss meeting Japanese companies. So this way I hope that you will be able to open your eyes and then focus more on Japanese market. And in the future, we also think that because we want to get more GTech member companies to come to Japan, and then because GTech is the body of the technology companies in Kerala, and if we can have GTech Japan office here, so I think GTech can support GTech members much better. So these are the three key points I think we should I want to open for I want to give more time for you to ask questions than me talking long time. So these are some of the points that we think is good, and I would like to discuss with you. So I think basically that is my the presentation, and I would like to open for questions. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. So what you can do is actually there are two ways that you can ask questions. One is actually you can simply press the raise button and then you can ask a question. Second one is actually you can type and send it to us, and then we can we can read and we can respond to it.
Let us go to the first question of the day. It is, can you explain a bit more about Japan IT Week, and when and explain a bit about the event from Jijo-san. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so Japan IT Week is the largest IT event happen in Japan. So and it is actually going to take place in April of 2021. So basically, this event, many IT companies and non-IT companies actually participate. Usually, there are pavilions from different countries. Many countries actually participate, including Israel, US, and many companies. And many Japanese, executives actually visit this event. I hope this year they will conduct it despite of the COVID situation. So at the moment the event is actually on. So we are thinking this event because having GTech pavilion might be able to promote your member companies presence in Japan. I will copy paste the event URL, so you can go and get more details about it.
Okay, very good. So we will go to the second question. That is from Krishna Kumar San, co-founder and CEO of iCore Pioneer Business Solution. Thank you, Krishna Kumar San. Hi Kaushal, thanks for the wonderful presentation. One question I have is about the potential of sports solution in Japan. Any ideas?
Yeah, sports solutions definitely has a potential in Japan. As you know, this year the Olympics is going to held in Japan in this year, because it was supposed to held in last year, but it could not because of the COVID. So this year actually the event is on at the moment. So I think with that there's a lot of a lot of the people focus on that, and a lot of enthusiasm is actually coming up in this area. So I don't know exactly what kind of sport that you're talking about, but basically Japan is always being a kind of country focusing on the health and the fitness. So mostly almost all Japanese they do some sort of sports. So there's of course opportunity in Japan for sports solutions, including yoga or fitness and things like that.
Yeah. So he was asking about end-to-end sports automation solution.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. End-to-end sports automation solutions. Definitely there's a potential. So what we can do is, if you can send us a mail, we can discuss and we can give you more information about that. So I can put my email address. You can write.
Yeah, I can write to
Okay.
Krishna Kumar.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you, Krishna Kumar. Okay. So now we are waiting for the next questions. If anybody, can you just type here, or you want to raise your hands? It's fine. Okay, then I think we'll leave it to the team. So team, what we can do is that please, write your question even after the session. You can email to the Vishnu-san actually, and and also I'll be in touch with all of you. Okay. So yeah, there's one more question. So there is one more question from Jijo-san. You had mentioned about Olympics. What are the potential opportunities related to that? Have Japan opened up for the small business solutions?
Yeah. So because Japan, in fact, planned Olympics in a greater scale. Unfortunately, they invested a lot of money. Trillions of dollars they invested on Olympics. And couple of things they were planning to do. First one is actually the world fastest Shinkansen or bullet train. They are going to launch in Olympics that can go up to 610 kilometers per hour. So Japan Railway is actually planning on that, and also they are going to introduce this autonomous vehicles with that. That is also in the pipeline, but actually what happened was this 5G came little bit still it's not deployed here. So because of that autonomous driving cars got bit slow. But I think before because currently because of the COVID they have not announced anything anything concrete, because the situation still is very volatile. But autonomous driving and many 5G related the solutions they are going to introduce for Olympics. And in addition to that, the tourism is another important sector in Japan, because tourist industry became the third largest the industry in Japan. In fact, they were last year before COVID, 2019, Japan got about 32 million the visitors, foreign visitors, and they were planning to actually reach 40 million for Olympics, but unfortunately, COVID, destroyed everything. So for foreigners, providing many services, because of the language and other barriers. So a lot of tech solutions, many apps, many different kinds of services or solutions actually introduced. And many because of the Olympics, Japan roads and also restaurants and hotels, everything, they because so far they did not use that much of English. If you go to restaurant, mostly menu in Japanese and things like that. So they have actually changed a lot, and also they introduced halal food, halal restaurants. So a lot of changes actually, that they introduce. So I think with Olympics, a lot of global the business opportunities will emerge.
So even yesterday's news says that they are going ahead with the Olympics.
Yeah. So still, I think it is positive, because the vaccine is actually now already there. So hopefully things might work out, I guess. Yeah.
So the next question is from Abhilash Sam from Mando Fusion LLP. How organized is the retail sector in Japan in terms of digital applications?
Yeah, so I would say, in fact, compared to other countries, Japan, shopping retail chains, e-commerce solutions are not that much or not that great. I think there are a lot of opportunities. Still, the biggest retail chain in Japan is called Aeon. That is fairly big company, and then in addition to that, there are so many retail chains, and still they don't have that much. They have certain mobile applications and e-commerce services and all, but not that, I would say, sort of significant compared to other countries. So there are a lot of opportunities in the retail sector, I guess. Okay.
So there was a question from Anandu from Nyoto.
Okay.
I had Japan is very susceptible to the natural disasters. Almost 75% of the business say they are affected by them and not ready for them as well.
Yeah, of course, Japan has a lot of natural disasters, but Japan, I mean, it's not new to Japan, and it's been there for so long. So Japanese companies and Japanese, the people are very well prepared for that. So if you know that, Japan had great, the greatest this disaster in 2011, but still, it was very big one. But they managed, and they actually bounced back. And of course, earthquakes and all very natural for us, and all the buildings, everything, houses, all built to resist that. So we do not have that much, since the Japan has this natural, disaster, disaster. So I think Japanese people are well prepared for that. So that's the kind of situation.
Yeah, there is an additional also. How much does this affect on the
IT? Yeah. So because of that, they want to use a lot of IT technologies, like especially early prediction, early warnings, and many sensor technologies. In fact, recently we got one request from company about for earthquakes. Building inclinations and things like that. So they actually use a lot of IT, tools and technologies for that. And I think that there are a lot of opportunities in that area.
So thanks. So we go to the next question, which is from Lakshmi San from Technocoos Software Solution. Thanks for the question. Can language barrier be the constraint in Japanese market?
Language is a kind of course, constraint. It's a challenge. That is the one reason I told you, like, why not many foreign companies are here. But it's opportunity as well. So since there are few companies here, so there are a lot of opportunities for foreign IT companies. Obviously, the language is I would say it's a barrier. But we have to find ways to overcome that. So that is why Global IT Park is there to help you. So we provide the bilingual support, and we actually deal with the customers, and we basically do the communication. We do the bridging between the foreign company and Japanese company. So therefore we are there to support you. You don't need to worry too much about that. And also in the meantime, we also want Japanese companies also to think about little bit global communication. And now slowly Japanese companies also started speaking and communicating in English. Basically, they can read and write Japanese for English. I mean, they can read and write English, but the communication, like speaking and listening, is kind of they are a little bit weak.
Okay, so the next is from Ajaya San from El Victo Technologies. What about the scope of autonomous and contactless parking in malls and smart cities?
Very good. Actually, autonomous parking introduced by some automotive companies, and the malls actually still they don't have that kind of the autonomous parking the systems in place. But recently, last year, Toyota is going to build a new smart city. It's called Wuhan City. It's in near it's a city near the Mount Fuji, okay, Yamanashi Prefecture, close to IT Park, also not that far. And that area, they're actually building a totally brand new city, smart city, for Toyota to practice all mobility and autonomous solutions. And their plan is to once they build the city, they want to send all the scientists, engineers, and everyone to go there, and then develop those new solutions. So it is called Wuhan City. I can send you that link also to you, so you can explore about that. It's called Toyota Wuhan City. So I send the link. Please check on that. And in fact, Toyota already introduced the tech companies to register with them. If you have any solutions, you can propose to them, and they actually look at it, and they are willing to have a kind of a discussion on that.
Okay, thanks. We have one more question from Jacob San from Wench Solution Private Limited. Japan in project infrastructure in IT for scope is what? He's asking the opportunities in infrastructure, IT infrastructure, IT infrastructure.
IT infrastructure means like, for example, building, IT parks or something like that? Or?
There is networking and everything.
Yeah. So IT infrastructure opportunities are there because, now the 5G is coming, and then a lot of, the networking opportunities are there. And then the smart cities and, those things are coming up. Opportunities are there, but we need to look at where exactly that your competence is there, and then we can respond to that.
Yeah, there is a huge growth in the cloud, right?
Yes. Yeah, cloud migration is actually still very low in Japan. So cloud migration is also another opportunity. The area there. Japanese companies. For foreign companies have.
Okay, so that was Jacobson, head strategic HR. Okay, so thanks. I think in case you have some more questions, please let us know. We can inform Vishnu-san on that actually. Thank you very much. I think we are done with the questions.
Yeah. Yeah, what we can do is, today's session, I want to give you a little bit, overall idea. If you want to have, what we can do is in the future, we can have more focus, sessions, focusing on different industries, for example, or we can have some discussions or anything like that. So we are very much willing to, work with you. So I think GTech team, we can discuss with the team, and we can design some sort of events in the future.
Yeah. Okay. So I think thanks team. Thanks for your time. I think we had a very good participation, as Kaushal rightly said, that it is the first event, and Vishnu-san and Jijo also said that let us start with a continuous set of events for the year actually. Thank you very much. Before we close, Jijo-san and Vishnu, you want to give some glimpse, or we can go ahead. Yeah.
Kaushal, we would like to thank you for all the information. I think a lot of inputs we've received. We have heard about Kaizen, but Monozukuri is kind of new for me. And, good to know. I think we are from India. We are the other way around. We are like multi-Zukuri all the time. So looking forward to working closely with you. Thanks for all the inputs, whatever you gave us. Vishnu,
Thank you, Kaushal, and thank you, Satish and the team for this wonderful session. And we have got to know more like new techniques and new wordings for that. So all the participants who have joined today, I would like to give big thanks on behalf of GTech and GTech BFG group. We'll work together for more activities and also for the upcoming delegation in April. Okay. So we'll be sharing you. So if you have any queries or questions, kindly email me. I will connect you with Kaushal and Adamai Japan team. Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you, Adamai Japan team.
Thank you so much. Very pleasure, having that session today. Thank you so much.
Okay.